18 out of 22 assisted baskets. So on offense, that's what we're striving for, and we've been pretty good at that, and we played well. So happy to see the sharing of the basketball.
They had one player with 4 threes in the first half and 2 threes as a team in the second half. Do you think that you really improved with what you were trying to do defending the three?
I thought we were rotating well, closing out well. It was definitely something we discussed at halftime. And the one we left Pope under out of bounds, everyone kind of went to the cutter, and he shot one right in front of our bench with no one around. So we just had to do a better job of contesting those, and I thought we did that in the second half.
It seemed like you guys also did a better job of driving to the basket, making them foul you, as opposed to just shooting threes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had good balance between get to the free throw line is huge if we can, and we were able to do that, and I'm excited about that.
There were a couple of key stretches there in the second half where Alonzo Gaffney was playing center, primary rim protector. Can you talk about maybe the trust level you have in him to play center without Warren or Duke out there?
For this type of team, this opponent, it made sense because they're both of their bigs. When they went to Rata and Bilodeau, they could both make threes. So it made sense from a matchup standpoint to go that direction. This is the best Alonzo Gaffney has looked in weeks, so I'm really happy, and he's had a good couple of days of practice, and he looks has a renewed kind of energy about him, and he defended very well, and he's kind of what I was focusing on when I was telling you, like a lot of what he brought won't show up in a box score, but it's him being able to switch and move his feet against guards, and the way he played defense, especially in the second half, was really good.
You're 11-0 when Devin has double figures. He doesn't suck up a lot of shots. And you talked about just like what he does off the ball and transition. So how important is it when, as a barometer for you offensively, when he's having a good night?
Yeah, he was a live wire tonight. He was just going to the offense board. He's getting in passing lanes. He was communicating well, on defense with the switches when we needed to. So he brought the appropriate leadership to the team and experience when you're struggling a little bit, you're going through a tough time. I thought he brought the right energy to the game and did all those little things that we need him to do, and so that was it was great for him to see him play that right time.
You talked earlier about getting off to a good start, and obviously trailing at the half, but basically did do a lot of good things early to get off to that start.
Yeah, I mean, some of it, like I touched on, was we left Pope open for a three. Maybe we had a few other examples of breakdowns, but you got to give credit to Oregon State and what Wayne has done with a young team. He's got some really good young players to build around in the future. And kid Bilodeau was going against Warren, and it looks like he looked like freaking Dirk Nowitzki, on the one shot, like one leg, step back, contested, and they made a few shots late at the buzzer too. That's their style, and those are demoralizing when you guard for 25, 27 seconds and then someone hits one as the clock's winding down. So we had to fight through some of that in the first half, but I liked overall where we stood. No one was really in panic mode.
Does this brighten the mood of the guys and just everything, just winning?
See, I don't think really, nothing against anybody in this room or anywhere else, but like unless you played at our level and experienced what it feels like to go through a tough stretch and lose a few games, no matter what you say and do in practice or what the players do in practice, there is inherently a loss of confidence. And tonight was, I guess, a reintroduction to winning and knowing how to win and close an opponent out. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a carryover effect now that we could all breathe, and because I've been through it as a player, and I know it as a coach and a player. Like, you lose these games, some heartbreaking, some not. You lose 4 in a row, you feel like, are we ever going to win a game again? No matter how good a season you've had. So happy the guys, feel good for them because they've had a great season, that they could get this out of their system and get back on the winning track.
Is this win really just a sigh of relief win, or maybe you see it in a different way?
Man, I definitely think it's a sigh of relief, man. We coming on 4 losses. yeah, it's just been a whirlwind, and just to get that dub, it was just very a sign of relief. I feel good, even though I feel bad because we had to gut that out. It was a close one, Nothing's gonna be easy, and so we just got to keep putting them together.
Bobby was saying that no matter how successful you've been as a team, when you go on a losing streak like that, it just kind of takes confidence away from the group. So what did that feel like kind of going through that, especially maybe the last several days, and then getting kind of back over it today?
Yeah, we definitely went through some growing pains, especially just 4 losses back to back. That's hard mentally on us, just to stay consistent in practice, keep a good energy, good attitude, and but we figured it out. We just kept sticking to it. We didn't change anything. We did get closer as a team, with just holding each other more accountable, being able to take constructive criticism from each other, and I think we grew in that because this game, it wasn't easy, but and we had mistakes all around, and we figured out how to get the win.
You only took 2 shots in the first half. What do you think about just the offensive flow? And it seemed like there weren't hardly any bad shots in the game by you guys as a team.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show how much we connected over this losing streak, because it's just, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who makes the shots, it doesn't matter who takes the shots. We just want good shots, and we trust each other. We see each other, work out every day, so we know what we're capable of. And just making the right decision, making the right pass, and if someone gets a shot that we think is a good shot, then everyone is aware of what's going on. And so as long as everyone's on the same page, that's all that matters.
You guys had 18 assists on 22 baskets, and I think your first 6 baskets today were assisted. Was there an extra focus on making the right pass and getting the good shot?
Not really, because at the end of the day, we're all good individually. We all have different skill sets that we want to show, but at the end of the day, this is a team sport, and we got a lot of transfers who we're all playing with each other for the first time. We have growing pains, and those losses really made us focus in on just being more connected as a team. So yeah.
From your past experiences at other programs, going through this most recent stretch of losing, did you feel like you had something to go off of that maybe some of the younger guys on this team didn't? And if so, how did that play into keeping your guys together and sort of staying through this one?
Yeah, for sure. Because maybe my freshman, sophomore year, when you go through losing streaks, I've seen it plenty of times. The team just fractures. People start getting selfish. People think about other things besides winning the next basketball game. And just being a leader on this team, being an older guy, I've actually, I was very, very vocal at the start of the season, and as the season has progressed, I've kind of laid back because I want everyone else to, grow as well. You see me? And so I think those 4 losses, I think that is. It woke up some guys to let people know that it's not easy and you have to stay consistent with everything, and it just made something glaring. Yeah.
Desmond, you guys have Oregon in 2 days. Just what's the approach for that game?
Same thing. Take it one game at a time. They're very athletic, very tall, and so that's probably the only emphasis in terms of focusing on them. But at the end of the day, I think we can compete with any team in this league, in the country really. It's all about us, making the extra effort, having the right energy, having the right mindset, having the right attitude. And I think we did that today. And as long as you have that, the skill is gonna, it's gonna show us that. And we got some really good guys. So I'm excited to see what we do Saturday.
Well, how good does it feel after the 4 losses, Devin, to just kind of, does it feel like you guys can breathe again and exhale because you finally won one?
Yeah, it's definitely it feels good. That was actually our last win. So our last one was Oregon State. So it felt good. Sucks to lose. We've been practicing hard, which made it hurt even more because in the game it wasn't translating. We were practicing hard, having good practices, and then we got to the game. It was bad, communication defensively. I feel like we got back to defensive tendencies, and our scouts, and we did pretty good on that today.
Bobby was very complimentary of your leadership, just your vocalness. I'm sure that's sort of consistent, but is there anything that you say or do differently, when the team's kind of struggling and you're trying to resolve that?
So I have one-on-ones and stuff because everybody has their own problem, personal problem. It could be school, anything. So I try to connect with everybody and see what they're going through. Just being able to say especially me and my brother, he says the things that people are scared to say, like get on somebody and just just be that leader. That's what we needed. We got some young guys or some people that haven't won as much. So I've been part of a winning program. I just try to have my voice in there. I feel like everybody listened. We had a couple meetings, 5 meetings before, so for those 4-game stretches. So I feel like everybody listened and everybody's locked in now.
Players only or coaches involved?
Everything. So players, coaches, starters. We done had all types of different meetings. So
Team is 11-0 now. When you score double figures, were you aware of that? And what does that mean?
I talked to my brother about that, and he said he thought it was just him. Yeah. And I was like, no, when I scored double digits. But yeah, it feels good, just doing. But it doesn't really matter about scoring. I just try to. I'm happy if I get a dunk every game. Just playing defense. Just doing the dirty stuff. That the team needs. So yeah.
You seem to pride yourself on that. Whether I noticed there were 3 or 4 plays in a row where you took a charge and then forced a turnover, and just doing a lot of those little things that translate into points, even if it's not you scoring them.
Well, yeah, at Auburn, I bring that back. We have all those good type of players. So I had to find my way. Just do things to stay out on the court. And that's what I tell some of our younger guys. They think it's about scoring or coach doesn't like them, blah blah blah. But I was like, if you guard, play defense, rebound, just do the stuff that coach likes. You'll be out there on the court. So yeah, that's what I preach.